Good evening, I'm Prasad Michael and you're watching Kini News, the show that brings you today's biggest stories. Healthcare professionals are constantly under a lot of pressure, especially now with the COVID-19 outbreak. At the end of the day, doctors are people too. You probably know where I'm going with this.
You settle after I settle this patient!
Yeah, you made a mistake already, then you want to settle.
Yes!
How long you want me to wait?
You can wait or not. If cannot wait, get out!
No, I cannot wait.
Oh, so you're a government doctor, is it?
Yes!
Come, show me your face.
A case involving a doctor purportedly losing his temper with a patient in an incident captured on a video that has gone viral on social media has been resolved through negotiations between both sides. In a statement this evening, Negeri Sembilan Health Department Deputy Director Dr. Mohamad Faid Abd Rashid said the issue has been resolved through negotiations involving both sides. The 29-second clip depicted the doctor and two people, one of which was a patient, embroiled in an argument at a government clinic in Seremban. The video was posted on the Facebook account of Murugan Ramasamy, who claimed to be the patient in the video. The Facebook post said that the incident was related to the medication prescribed to the patient. The post alleged that the doctor told the patient that he would prescribe cough medicine, but the pharmacist later gave flu and diarrhea medication instead. Meanwhile, Dr. Mohamad Faid urged the public not to make assumptions based on the video and to obtain information from official sources. He said that complaints about health services should be done through proper channels and that taking pictures or video recordings without permission at a healthcare facility were not allowed. Is PAS panicking over who will become the next Prime Minister? DAP veteran Lim Kit Siang certainly thinks so. Why does PAS appear to be panicking over Harapan's plan to finalize the prime ministerial transition plan? This is the question levelled against the Islamist Party by DAP's veteran leader Lim Kit Siang. Kit Siang said this after several PAS leaders attacked Harapan ahead of its presidential council meeting this Friday to detail the transition plan from Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad to PKR President Anwar Ibrahim. Kit Siang said some only PAS leaders seem to be constitutional experts. Without naming names, Kit Siang noted that a PAS leader with legal background claimed that the discussion on Mahathir handing over power to Anwar infringed on the Yang di-Pertuan Agong's authority. In an apparent reference to PAS Secretary General Taqiyuddin Hassan, Kit Siang said, quote, "I wonder where he studied law." He also noted that another PAS leader claimed that the Harapan Presidential Council had no locus standi to decide on Mahathir's successor. Pasir Mas MP Ahmad Fadli Shari said only members of parliament can do so. Harapan in the last general election had endorsed Mahathir as its leader on condition that he will hand over power to Anwar before the end of his term. However, no specific date was set. Before this, even I would love to be on a cruise ship, but now the idea seems like an absolute nightmare, even more so for two Malaysians aboard the Diamond Princess cruise ship. Two Malaysians aboard the quarantined Diamond Princess cruise ship have tested positive for COVID-19. This was confirmed by Director General of Health, Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah. Apart from the two confirmed cases, two more are awaiting anxiously for their results. He added that the two infected patients are being isolated and managed in Japan. The quarantined cruise ship Diamond Princess, with more than 400 cases, is by far the largest cluster outside China, has become the biggest test so far for other countries' ability to contain an outbreak that has killed close to 2,000 people in China and 5 elsewhere. All passengers were taken into a 2-week quarantine, after which more than 300 American passengers, including 14 who tested positive for the coronavirus, were flown home to military bases in the United States. A group of residents in Kuala Lumpur fear that too much development in their area may be too much to handle. A group of residents from Jalan Abdullah, Lorong Abdullah and Lengkok Abdullah held a press conference today facilitated by NGO Selamatkan Kuala Lumpur to express their opposition to the conversion of the historical housing estate from a residential to a commercial zone. They also opposed the large developments planned in the area.
Among the proposed monstrous development was a 1-acre 3-story power station, PMU, planned adjacent to the houses. The residents firmly opposed, and again with the intervention assistance of the MP and SKL, it has been agreed that the PMU will be placed at the front of Jalan Bangsa and Jalan Rayat. In place of that, Sitia's management approached the residents with an alternative of 40-story apartment to be constructed at the residents' doorstep.
Selamatkan Kuala Lumpur Deputy Chairperson M. Ali said the residents feared for their safety with the development works, which have damaged several houses already.
Adjacent houses are more than 70 years old and do not have concrete room beams, which will not be able to withstand the heavy piling works during construction. By chance, residents found out about this proposed construction. Upon inquiring, authorities informed that under the new zoning, it bypasses the requirement to install a signboard to inform the neighboring owners of the potential development. This has caused anxiety amongst the long-standing residents, as now they fear that there may be gigantic developments in the area approved without their knowledge.
Ali called on the developer and the landowner to engage more with the residents. He said though several dialogues were held with DBKL, not all details about the developments were disclosed. By now, I'm sure we've all seen the dashcam video of the toddler surviving a high-speed crash near Senawang. The incident raised many questions, but one thing is for certain, those who are allegedly responsible are facing the law. Reckless driving caused an accident earlier this month which saw a 2-year-old boy being flung out of a moving car on the North-South Expressway. As a result of that, 2 men have been charged at the Magistrates Court in Brembao today for driving in a reckless or dangerous manner that resulted in the toddler sustaining injuries. The two, 23-year-old Nabil Haris Jafridin and 20-year-old B. Tayalan, claimed trial after the charge was read out to them separately by a court interpreter. According to the charge sheet, the two were allegedly driving in a dangerous manner along the North-South Expressway near Senawang on February 10th. The charge under Section 42(1) of the Road Transport Act carries a maximum jail term of 5 years and a fine up to 15,000 ringgit upon conviction. On February 10th, the 2 men were allegedly involved in dangerous driving, with one of them hitting a family car that resulted in a toddler being thrown out of the car. The incident also prompted Transport Minister Anthony Loke to stress the importance of child seats. It's a sad day for the Malaysian entertainment industry today, with the passing of actor Ashraf Sinclair. Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail has conveyed her condolences to her family. Malaysian actor Ashraf Sinclair died of a heart attack in Jakarta, Indonesia this morning. The sad news was confirmed by Dodi, who is the manager of Bunga Citra Lestari, the Indonesian singer to whom Ashraf was married to. He told Kompas that Ashraf passed away at 4 a.m. Central Indonesian time. The late Ashraf was the host of NTV7's Box Office and acted in the movie Gol and Ginchu, as well as Gol and Ginchu, the series. Coming up next, we continue our chat with Dr. Christopher Lee. The world's richest man is giving away $10 billion US. Infectious diseases expert Dr. Christopher Lee joins us again. This time we dive into the properties of a virus, what causes it and how we're responding to it.
You are an expert in this field.
I'm an infectious disease physician by training and I've been working with the Ministry of Health for 34 years and 6 months, apparently that's what they told me. So I've been around looking after patients at Nipah, patients with SARS, H1N1, Ebola, well, the works.
So talk us through about this particular virus, coronavirus. Tell us a bit about the properties of this virus.
Coronaviruses are respiratory viruses. Now, many of them cause very mild symptoms of URTI or upper respiratory tract infections that don't do us much harm until 2 of the more evil sisters came along, which was SARS in 2003, and in 2012 or 2011 it was the MERS-CoV. What we see of this current novel coronavirus, which we have given actual name for the virus, is actually coronavirus SARS coronavirus 2. But the disease it causes is called COVID-19. It's similar in the sense as the way it spreads. There's some similarity. It is droplet spread and direct contact. There's argument now in China that some of the Chinese health authorities said it could be airborne, but that has not been established around the world. It causes respiratory infections mainly. So most times when severe cases, it will be linked to infection of the lung, which is a pneumonia. And if the pneumonia gets worse, it can also affect other organs. And of course, finally, as we know, there is a risk of death. Now, that's where it differs from SARS. In terms of infectivity, this virus is a lot more infectious than SARS, and you can see the numbers shoot up. However, the good news would be the mortality or the severe infection seems to be significantly less, but it can be explosive. Just like H1N1, you can explode very quickly, and we see this coronavirus is also exploding fairly fast, especially in China.
So as a layperson, right, because I see a lot of arguments online, people saying that, there's no need to worry, the common cold is more dangerous. So why are we seeing such a response towards the COVID-19?
It's not a fair comparison. It's a bit of an orange and an apple. Flu, yes, so far per year, flu has killed more people than this coronavirus, who has been around for a month and a half. But flu happens seasonally. Certain seasons and different parts of the world get those seasons at different times. But this is all happening at the same time. And because it's a new virus, none of us has met the virus before. None of us have any immunity. So imagine it spreads so fast, even if the serious cases only make up 15%, they say, all right? 15% of a large number is a significant number of patients. And that could put a lot of strain on the health facilities, our clinics and hospitals. So, and just like what happened in Wuhan, when it's overstretched, things can go wrong, mortality can go up. And despite what's happening with coronavirus, we still have other diseases to treat. People still fall ill for all other reasons. So can it shock the system? Yes, and I think it has seen very clearly so far how it has affected the economy and things like that. What option do we have? Let it spread, let it go, and say, okay, it's going to be like flu. I think no government is able to do that.
Jeff Bezos, the world's richest man, has a lot of money and is giving a lot of it away to fight climate change. Amazon chief executive Jeff Bezos will commit $10 billion to fund scientists, activists, non-profits and other groups fighting to protect the environment and counter the effects of climate change, he said on Monday. Cutting emissions will be challenging for Amazon. The e-commerce company delivers 10 billion items a year, as a massive transportation and data center footprint, and has faced criticism from within its own workforce. Bezos, the world's richest man, is among a growing list of billionaires to dedicate substantial funds to battling the impact of global warming. Bezos said in an Instagram post that climate change is the biggest threat to our planet. The Bezos Earth Fund will begin issuing grants this summer as part of the initiative. Counteracting climate change has become a popular cause for US billionaires in recent years, with Microsoft's Bill Gates and Michael Bloomberg counting among the world's wealthiest environmental philanthropists. Last year, Bezos pledged to make online retailer Amazon net carbon neutral by 2040, the first major corporation to announce such a goal, and to buy 100,000 electric delivery vehicles from US vehicle design and manufacturing startup Rivian Automotive. Bezos also said at the time that Amazon would meet the goals of the Paris Climate Accord 10 years ahead of the accord schedule and invest $100 million to restore forests and wetlands. And here are more headlines from today. And that is all from us today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. I'm Prasad Michael. Thank you for watching.